So we now want to convert this JSON to Parquet, and then that Parquet file will be going into HDFS. So that's what we want to build. So what we will do, we will basically be dragging another processor here, and we'll be bringing on the canvas, and here you can see there are so many options available. I will search for convert. I don't have any processor for converting JSON to Parquet, but there is a processor which is convert record, so which says that it can convert data from one format to another. So I will be making use of this particular processor. So I'll say add here. So this is added. So I just added convert record processor, and I am connecting these two things together, and I am saying on successful relationship, please go to this particular step, and I will go here and I will fix these issues. So I'll go to configure, and it should terminate the relationship. I'll say on failure. So it automatically terminate the relationship. So I'll say apply. So this issue is also resolved, and this is fine. Like we are on convert record now. So this convert record processor is basically very useful when it comes to like converting from one data format to another. So let's configure it. So in the configuration, I can specify automatically terminate relationship on failure. This is fine. And this is enabled. Scheduling, we are saying do it as soon as possible. And in the properties, I need to specify certain attributes so that this should be able to convert data from JSON to Parquet. So that's what we want to do right now with this processor. So this is convert record processor. So let's do record reader. Our record reader is basically like a JSON record reader. So our record reader is JSON tree reader, and I will be picking this. I will say create, and then I have writer. So writer, I will be writing like using Parquet. So my Parquet record set writer is there. So I'll say create, and these two are set now. So can you see we have two different arrows? So we can actually now set up few things in these arrows, and we can see like what all settings we can specify so that the JSON is parsed well and the Parquet file is also created without any issue. So first of all, we will go to the JSON tree and see what we got, and there we can actually set up few things. So I'll just click on it, and here we have this particular JSON tree, and we have Parquet records set writer. So this is for reading and this is for writing, right? So let's go inside this JSON tree. So these are the configurations, and I'm just specifying one configuration here, which is the datetime format. So I'm just specifying this configuration here, nothing else I'm changing, and I can also specify the timestamp format. So I'm just saying the timestamp format is this. So I will specify this also, and let's do hours, minutes, and seconds. This is fine. Okay, so I will say okay or apply. Okay, and then I have this documentation. In case you want to read more about it, you can read it. I'll close it, and then I'll come back to this now, and this is for deleting. I will not be deleting here, but I just want to start it. So we have to enable it. So I'll choose this option, and we have enable button. So I've enabled this particular controller service. So this is now enabled, and I'll also enable the Parquet controller service. So I'll just go to this particular option only again, and this is also enabled. This is fine. Okay, so I'll just close it, and I'll go back to convert record. I will go back to configure, and I will go to this Parquet record set writer. So let's configure the properties for Parquet. So I'm inside Parquet properties, and here I'm not changing anything, and this is also default. So not changing any settings related to Parquet. Actually, this is all related to Parquet internals. So I would suggest read the internals of Parquet to understand what is dictionary size, because this particular thing is used for performing dictionary encoding in Parquet. If you don't have sufficient dictionary size, then what will happen? Basically, the dictionary encoding, the Parquet optimization will not work as expected. So that's what you need to see. Now, apart from that, I have writer version. So I want to just specify the writer version here. First, let's disable it. Disable. So now I'm going inside again and I'm changing this writer version, and writer version is Parquet 2.0, and I'll say OK, apply. Now I can enable it again. So let me go and see whether the properties are set to Parquet 2.0. Yes, this property is already set. I had to disable it because when the service is enabled, then I cannot change the properties. So I'm just going back and enabling this service again. So this is Parquet writer record set writer service. So this is a controller service that has been enabled. Okay, so now I will be connecting this convert record processor. So we have convert record processor. So I'll be connecting this convert record processor with put HDFS. So we want to put it into HDFS. So we'll say put and HDFS. So here we have this processor, and then we will connect this convert record with the put processor. So I'm specifying the relationship is success, and I'll say add. So this is fine, like the errors are resolved here, and then we have so in put HDFS component, I'll say configure, and I will say store in, let's say, HDFS, right? And here I am not changing anything. I'll say terminate relationship is on failure. Apart from that, scheduling, I'm just keeping default, do it as soon as possible, and then I'm changing the properties, and these properties are basically related to the configuration files. So for doing that, I need to specify the configuration resources, and these configuration resources are basically the Hadoop core site.xml and the HDFS site.xml. So these configurations are available in /user/lib of this machine, and then you will find Hadoop directory. Under that you will find etc, under that you will find Hadoop, and after that you will find core site.xml. This is the configuration file. So I'll just specify this comma, and then I will say Control A, Control C, and I'll paste it here. I'll paste this here. Okay, I will just go here and paste it, Control V. So this is pasted. I'll remove the last comma, and then I will specify here it's HDFS site.xml. So these two files, HDFS site.xml, I'll say OK. So you can see in the configuration I have specified core site.xml and HDFS site.xml, right? So these two are done. So this is configured, and apart from that, we can also specify the directory in which we want to store the tweet. So I'll say /user/datacouch21. So that is the user ID that I am using right now. So you need to specify your own user ID. So this is my underscore tweets or my Twitter data. So I'm saying my Twitter data. So I'm putting that data into a directory, and this directory I am just saying there is any conflict, then don't fail, at least like replace it, right? So I'm just choosing that strategy. So you can read more about it, like in case you are not very clear what is happening. So if there is a file which is already existing, then it should replace it rather than throwing an error. So you will get to know if you do mouse over on the particular property. So for the time being, I think we are good. We got the put HDFS. We can use put file. There is another processor which can allow you to put data into your local file system. So there are many options related to putting data into different sinks. So now it's time to run this flow. So I will say apply, and I just applied it. It is getting saved. It is validating the things that I changed. And if everything is fine, then it will show me the stopped symbol. It's saying failure and success we did not define. So right click, configure, and then settings. We'll say auto terminate on failure, apply, and configure. And I will also specify on success also it should terminate, because this is the last step. Yeah, so this is what we specified. So all set now. what we need to do now, 21 records we already seen. So let's run this processor, right click and start this processor. I can even start this processor, but before I start, I want to show you like how these 21 flow files look like here. So I just started attributes to JSON. So if you remember like we were having list queue, and in this list queue the flow files were having data in the attributes. Now in this list queue, the attributes will convert into data. So I'm going to the data, and in this data, if you go to formatted, and here you will see these 5 attributes specifically we picked up, and this is having the football related tweets. So we are able to get the data in JSON. So now it's time to see the next processor, and this particular processor is basically I will stop this processor, right click, stop this processor, and I will say start this processor. So when I start this processor, these flow files will go to this particular queue, and there we will see what impact this particular processor has done. So we are expecting the data should be converted from JSON to Parquet. So that's why we will see that data will be queued in the Parquet format. Let's see, right click, and then I'll go to list queue, and I will see in the queue how it looks like. I'll say show data in the hex format. So because Parquet is not a text format, so that's why it's a binary, so that's why it's looking like this. So it is original, so Parquet content you cannot view like that, so that's why it is showing this kind of message, but in hex you can see. But in case you want to see what is there in the Parquet, we have Parquet tools utility that I can just quickly show, but let's go to HDFS first, and let's run this. And when we start it, then this queue will be empty and the data will go into HDFS. So after this, I will be going to HDFS, and then we will be exploring the data inside the HDFS, how it looks like. So these 21 messages are queued here. They are getting processed by this processor. Okay, so this is all processed. Now it's time to go to HDFS. For going to HDFS, I will log into my Google console, and I will go to the user ID that I specified. So I'll be going to DataCouch21, and then I'll be specifying the password here. Hopefully this should work. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm logged in. So what I will do, I will go to my Dataproc cluster. So now I am on the Google Cloud Console, and I am on the Dataproc clusters screen, and there I will be going inside, and I will be doing SSH on the VM instance where we have installed NiFi. So I'm going to this VM instances. So I'm doing SSH on this VM instance, and there I will be running some commands to see whether we got data in HDFS or not via NiFi. So I am here on this terminal, and I will do HDFS DFS -ls, and here this is my home directory, and I got the data. So if I do date, and I can see it is just now created 5 minutes back, and I can do HDFS DFS -ls, or I will do -ls, and then I will do my Twitter data, and this has been created by NiFi.